Hey, welcome back to the perpetually untitled Barcade game that I'm working on. This is devlog number 5. It's been a while since the last one, partially just because art takes forever, and I haven't really had like a lot of things to show. I've also been sick and gone, but like, excuses. I think a lot of it is just that I felt like I haven't had that much to show off, just because mostly I've been working on art and things that if they're working right, you don't see. So yeah, the code stuff that I've been working on is refactoring a lot of the attacks to kind of clean them up, and there was a lot of stuff in the attack scripts across different characters where like Jester's dash here had a special method on it to push her backwards during her attack that it would be called during the animation, and other characters had dashes forward and dashes in different directions. So basically it just cleaned that up to put that in the put that as a single item in the player controller, right? Because even though it's only used like once per character, it's used on a number of the characters. So it's like this was an obvious choice of something to pull out of these separate attacks, and by doing that I was actually able to eliminate a ton of the attack scripts, which is just going to make everything easier to maintain and update in the future. But yeah, so most of the attacks now are actually just controlled via animations, and then just setting some numbers on the scripts themselves. So that's pretty nice. It feels good, but again, you don't really see that as the player. The other thing that's been added is, not really added, but updated, is the invincibility windows on hit. So every time you hit the ball becomes like immune to contact for a certain amount of time. And that used to just be like a flat, like it was like 0.05 seconds. Basically it was like a frame. And that used to just be flat when I first made the attacks, and then I decided a while ago that I wanted to actually add that on an attack by attack basis, but now I've actually gone through and updated all the attacks, as I was updating the attacks to fix other things to do that. So what that means now is just like the ball is just going to hit the characters unintentionally less than it used to, and hopefully, once I've adjusted the numbers for that, hopefully it won't, ever really unintentionally hit the characters. So that's cool. I'm excited about that. But again, not like if that one in particular is working right, it's something you'll never see. So that's kind of the code updates. Otherwise, I've just been working on the art. You can see, actually, let's pull Jester back up. Her art has changed even slightly since the last one. I felt like her last design was a little Charlie Brown, but yeah, mostly I've been taking a long time and just kind of like reconcepting the characters and seeing how I feel about them. And Jester tried to make her even like more jestery, I guess. I can just pull her. Let's pull up some prefabs here. It's probably the easiest way to do this. But yeah, just trying to get that like second tier, third tier fidelity up for each of the characters, just so I can begin to at least inject some sort of personality, get people to care about them a little bit as I move into the point in time where we're playtesting. But mostly I've been moving towards making their animations clean, clear, and understandable, so that in the next couple of weeks here I can actually get playtest. I know I said I wanted to do by the end of the month, but I think it's going to be another 2 weeks after that. I would say, like, I think I'll be ready by 4th of July, but tough, it's going to be tough getting people together to play stuff like this over the 4th of July because there's so many other things going on. But I think the week after that, I will start corralling some folks in to help me out here. But yeah, so I reconcepted Jester a little bit. Not really concepted her, like just kind of changed her costumes, went through a couple of iterations on that. Kid Ninja, last time in the last video talked about Kid Ninja or Monk being in as that kind of like straightforward martial archetype character. Ended up going with Kid Ninja over Monk, just because Kid Ninja, I think, like, just conceptually is funnier. And that's how I make a lot of decisions in life, is just what's the funniest thing to do at this point in time. So yeah, he's in. And has basically the same moves as before. The somersault got changed out for a slide that kicks it up slightly, but all the other moves, the flying kick, the wave, the karate chop are all still in there. I actually am a little bit pretty happy actually with Kid Ninja as far as like fidelity goes, like how he looks. I'm pretty happy with. I think like some of the other ones might need some touch-ups, so I'm considering like where they're at as like tier 2 out of 3. I hope tiers of fidelity. You know, I'm probably not going to get like too detailed with everything, right? Because I'm not like the best illustrator in the world, but you know, there'll probably be some updates to some of the other characters, especially just like really small things. I think like when I've done the animations right now, I've just been like, yep, this needs an extra frame here, this needs an extra redraw of this body in this shape. So that's like kind of stuff that I've noted internally, and we'll work on when things feel good, right? Like I want to make sure the game is good first before I spend another extra couple hours drawing more frames. So yeah, I've been again just really pushing to get these 4 characters ready to start playtesting in the next week or 2 here. Have we talked about Belly this video? So this is. Belly has been updated to be Marty, assistant manager at the aquarium, and you know, Dread pirate. But yeah, so basically, you know, I knew this character kind of needed to be like goofy or something, right? Because he kind of like blows himself up big into a balloon. He is just kind of like a weird floaty, you know, balloon man. So I needed to figure out a way to, you know, get him funnier. And then, you know, like I had him as like a dwarf, and it was like, oh yeah, it's a big dwarf, but like that's not funny. And also all my things were D&D inspired, and like just didn't make sense, right? Like we have a kid who's a ninja in the game. Like this isn't, you know, high fantasy D&D type stuff we're dealing with here. We got to get some aquarium managers in the game. I don't know. But yeah, so I've been working on his art recently. He's got his clap got changed to a little cannon. It's gonna shoot confetti as a little particle, so I'm definitely gonna get working on that. Spending way too much time there soon. But overall I'm pretty happy with Belly, or Marty now I should say, and where he's at. So yeah, he's there. I just need a couple more. Like you can see his land animation's old, his jab is old, but I think actually that might be it for him. So that's maybe you can get that cleaned up today. But yeah, other than that, Ori, I've done like, you know, you can see like spotty animations here and there, but the flower, I actually finished this like right after the last video, and I really wish I would have re-recorded that one just slightly after, because I'm super happy with this that flower animation and the closing and stuff. So that's kind of the level like I'm looking for at the end, right? Where I've been actually replaying Castle Crashers recently to see how Dan Paladin, really cool animator, you know, does you kind of get the frame rate of, say, a pixel art game, but you use like these, you know, obviously higher fidelity like line drawings. I mean, it looks like a comic book, right? It's a cartoon, whatever. None of these are particularly high fidelity, I guess you could say, but just like doing the animations in a way where like you can see when that little bob happens, like it gives it just a little bit more life. Even though I'm not actually drawing any new frames. And there's probably only like 6 frames in that whole like spring and close animation. Like the opening and the closing animation is actually the same frames, just redrawn and removed. So that's something I've just been playing all around a lot with, is getting that art, like learning art, you know, again, and just kind of getting that all together. So that's, you know, I'm happy with Ori. I just need to draw a lot more of him and the rest of the cast. So that's where we're at. Something that I'm not 100% sure about, but might be doing, is alternate arts for the yellow team characters. So like Kid Ninja is a little boy or a little girl, depending on if you're on yellow or blue team. So, I mean, like, I'm gonna have to do recolorings of a lot of these guys. You know, obviously for the yellow team, because Yeah, but that's not going to come until really late in the game. But I just kind of had this like fun idea when I was reworking on Kid Ninja and like what should I do with him. And I like the idea of having like there's a boy and a girl, and like maybe they're twins or something. I don't know. Who knows? Who cares? But like having the idea of having like alternate art costumes for the blue and the yellow teams that aren't necessarily like super different. Like maybe I'm just redrawing the heads for both of them. Whoops. Maybe I'm just redrawing like the heads and part of them and just recoloring the rest. So I don't want to like reinvent the wheel here, but this is something that might happen. But I'm gonna show it anyway because I liked it. Yeah, I don't know. But yeah, so like as you can see, I don't actually have any frames of this other character. I've drawn out her whole I've drawn out her whole body, but I haven't actually done any of the animations because I want to test if Kid Ninja works first before I bother redrawing X many tens of frames to try and get Kid Ninja 2 working. Yeah, so that's kind of where we're at. I think I'm pretty close to being able to test without mini games in like kind of a realistic manner. There's definitely going to be bugs here and there, and we'll deal with that as it comes. But otherwise, I'm pretty happy. I'm excited, and I'm gonna try to snag down a bunch of people, which is tougher now that it's summer. And we're gonna play some games. All right, thanks for watching again, even if it's just me. And I'll be back. It might be a minute, but I will be back.